Hello and welcome back to my channel, Crafty Concepts with Erin. I'm Erin and I'm here today with the creative design team bringing you back to school ideas. I am so excited to share the Smarty Pants collection with you guys. Now, I feel like I am good friends with this paper pack. I had the privilege of being a presenter for Close to My Heart's convention, and this paper pack was my assignment. And what I did was I got to create tons of artwork to share, and I showed both traditional and non-traditional or non-conventional ways to use this paper pack. So today for this collaboration, we're doing a back to school layout, which is pretty much the intended purpose, but stay tuned to the end because I have some more artwork to share with you. Now, because this is from the core catalog and this paper pack will be available all year, it's a larger paper pack. But again, it's called Smarty Pants. Look at that super cute layout they have there, and lots of fun stuff going on here. So this gives you an overview of the paper pack. There are 12 sheets total. You get two. They're double-sided of each design. So 6 different patterns in there, lots of fun stuff. There's the sticker sheet, the pocket cards, coordinating cardstock, and then there's some stamp sets that kind of play along with this paper collection that I will be sharing with you today. So let's take a closer look here. I've already gone ahead and flipped every other one over, so I have them as a pair, the other side. You see what I'm saying there? So this is a really fun kind of a rainbow stripe, and we always have the branding strip. We call these zip strips, and I love to cut those off and use them on my layouts. So we have the stripe. On the other side is this peach with these little stars, and then we have this really cool little lint on there. I thought I got something on there. It's like math, like graph paper, right? That's what it reminds me of. And on the other side is this fun pattern paper. I did a lot of fussy cutting. Like I cut a lot of these images out and used them to create projects, but you could definitely use it as a whole as well. And then we have this fun letter paper. It's kind of like a word search, and if you look closely, there are actually words in there. Here's one: school. You got to be careful because you'll like get sucked in. Oh, look, room. See, oh, classroom. Yeah, see, you just like, oh, what can I find? Study. Anyway, on the other side are shoes, and this is fun because my kids are totally into this style of shoes, and how many of us get new shoes when we're going back to school? So that'd be a really fun topic for this particular paper pack. And then we have this one. It's like a composition notebook, which I think is just so fun, one of my favorites in the pack. This one on the other side is like a little science themed. We have the color Capri with just little discover and explore, create, little beaker and magnifying glass, super fun icons on there. Paper airplanes with a fun rainbow pattern of the alphabet there. On the opposite side is this wide ruled kind of like handwriting practice paper, super fun. And then we have this corkboard paper, which I also absolutely love. And on the opposite side is this charcoal, I believe that's charcoal, with the little stars. Maybe it's black. Not sure. It's pretty dark. It's not quite a true black, so I'm going to say charcoal with the stars. So on top of all those gorgeous pattern papers, we have a coordinating sticker sheet, and I really like the definitions here on the bottom. So there's a bunch of definition stickers that kind of like have a little twist on the actual definition. Like this one here, it says study, the act of eating, texting, and watching TV with an open textbook nearby, right? I know I was guilty of that as a student, and I'm sure many of you can relate. So lots of fun stickers on the coordinating sticker sheet, and there are the pocket cards as well, but I've used so many of those up that I'm not going to go through them all, but they have tons of fun stuff in there. So I'll go ahead and clear this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my VersaMat so I have a nice surface to work on. This helps me get everything lined up. And now because I had so many projects, I have a lot of scraps. And rather than cutting up new papers, I like to see what I can create with my scrap pack. So I've gone ahead and pulled some of these out, and I'll show you the photo I'm working with here. This is my son Clayton looking so happy because he made the honor roll list. So I snapped this photo, and there's a lot of blues and whites and a little bit of green. So I pulled these papers thinking that these would go very nicely. I've printed this with a white border around my photo, and we have quite a bit of scraps to work with here, so this should be good. This is a piece of sapphire, so we'll have the darker shade of blue around the white, and then that zip strip there. So this isn't quite 12 by 12. I'm going to need to bring in a foundation layer, so I thought the sapphire would be good. I have a 12 by 12 sheet, and that's going to give me a nice blue margin all the way around here. I'm going to adhere this to my VersaMat so it doesn't move around. I have some removable glue dots and these work well. Some people use washi tape. I put one in each corner, or you could do a triangle. You could do like the bottom two corners and the top and save yourself one glue dot each time, and that's enough to hold it in place. So we'll just get this squared up there, and that way our measurements are going to work in our favor on the edges of the VersaMat. I know I want this piece of white daisy here in the center, and then I'm going to just bring in my scraps and just experiment with different placement to see, we can run these vertical top to bottom and just layer them over each other and see how that looks. I'll bring my photo in here and just kind of getting some ideas. I'm not following a sketch for this one. And then I'm thinking maybe I'll run them opposite directions. So this one, the words are not going to work that way because the way they're oriented. So I need to run that one vertical. So that makes more sense to the eye when you're looking at the pattern paper. I have a couple pieces of this little word search paper here, and again, we want to make sure it's oriented up and down so our letters are right side up. So we could put it like this, or we could tuck it in the top and bottom here. So let's see what that looks like. I like that. I think that's going to look good. It looks like one continuous piece there, and I think I'm going to go with this format here. Now, when you look at my photo, it's predominantly blues with a little bit of green, and my layout is all blue and white. So I want to bring in some more colors, and a great way to introduce and broaden your color palette is like this little strip here. It has all the different colors of the paper pack in the letters on that strip. So that's going to allow us to kind of pull in some of those colors to brighten this layout up. I have my sapphire ink here. And whenever I have a pattern paper that's got a white background that's against a white background, I really like to define the edges just to give it some separation and help that stand out so it's not just kind of melting or fading into the background. I'm going to do that to this one as well, and I'll speed that up and cut a little bit of it out. So I just have my ink blending tool, and I'm going around the edge with sapphire ink to just, again, finish that off. Here are those stamps that I told you about that go with this paper pack. It's called the Smarty Pants stamp with thin cuts, and then there is this date stamp, and this is super fun. I'm going to use this one a lot. I'm going to show you how we can create a little pocket with a journaling card that you see here, and there's all the different dates and different things you can incorporate onto that. I'm bringing in my second VersaMat, but I'm going to flip it over so it has the foam backing for stamping. We're going to do a lot of stamping. So I'm bringing in some of these I already have mounted on blocks. This one is from the Smarty Pants stamp, and I'm inking that up in avocado ink, and it's a cute little circle. It says, "A new day, a new adventure." And then I thought, since he made the honor roll, that is perfect for this little A+, and we'll stamp that right into the center. There's also a fun little pencil on here. It says, "I'll always pencil you in," which I think is super cute. I'm going to ink this one up in black and stamp that on my nectarine cardstock right here. Now I want to add even more color, so I thought the candy apple red would really add a pop. There's a cute little apple stamp, and that is from the seasonal catalog. Every month has its own themed stamp. So this is September, and then there's an October one. So there'll be 2 in each catalog because they run for 2 months, and they're really fun. They're themed for the month, and they have like title options on there. I know they're super popular with a lot of you. So we've inked up our apple in the candy apple red, and I like to blot my ink off to clean my stamps up, and then I use my stamp chamois. It's moistened. It sits in this little Tupperware, and it's very handy for cleaning those stamps really quickly. I'll go ahead and get those die cut out, but I have a little bit more stamping still to do. I have mounted this stamp from the date stamp and thin cut set to the door of my Misty, and I'm going to put the white daisy cardstock in there with the magnet and then ink this up in my black ink here. This creates a little library card that sits in the pocket. It's so cute. It's going to be great for embellishing or journaling on your layouts. Lots of ideas. So it comes with this die that gives it these nice rounded corners. And then for the pocket, I'm going to use a little bit of that composition notebook, and I will die cut all of those pieces out. So we have all our fun little elements. Isn't that cute? I just love it. And this little pocket, it scores the lines that you can fold over, and then that's going to slide right in like that. Super cute. I cut this out with a circle die and then with a little pencil, apple, and now we're ready to embellish our layout. I want my photo to stand out more. I don't want it to get lost. So I thought this little cork paper would really help that to draw your eye to the photo, because that is the main point of the layout after all. We tend to get lost in all the fun little doodads and we can't lose our photo as our focal point. So this is going to sit on an angle to the right, and I want to create an embellishment cluster over the bottom of the pocket here. I'm going to tuck the little pencil behind my circle, and I'm not sure about the red yet. So I pulled some stickers off the sticker sheet, used my anti-static powder pouch to remove the adhesive so I can move these around. And I have the red apple, so there's the red in the book, and I need to have that red a little bit spread about the page. I did trim off a little bit of the ruler. That was originally a 12-inch piece, and we'll put the apple here, and then this will be perfect for bringing the red up to the top of the page and creating that visual triangle we always talk about. I already had this piece die cut from the Avocado cardstock, and I thought it might be a good place for my title. From the Smarty Pants stamp, it says, "You can't spell awesome without me," and I thought that's going to be a great title for this layout. I'll go ahead and move that over here and slide a little piece of foam underneath, ink up our stamp, and then you just want to press down, give it a second to soak in, and you know, that looks okay, but I'm going to try something else. So I'm going to bring in Perfectly Imperfect Patterns. This is a new stamp from the core catalog, and it's like controlled splatter and ink blots and like watercolor marks. This is a great stamp. You guys are going to see me use this stamp a lot. I love it. I had one called Strokes of an Artist. I still do, and this one's a little different, but the same concept. So love this stamp. I'm going to do some second generation stamping. So I'm blotting it off and then stamping again to my little white bracket there. I don't want that ink really dark, so this is a great way to get the same tone but a shade lighter. So again, this is called second generation stamping, and we're just creating a little ink blot in the middle to highlight our title. So now I can ink that up in black, give it a good press. I think this is going to look really cool. So let's slide it over into place and see which one gets the vote. And yep, I like it. I think that the green, avocado green cardstock was just maybe too much. So the green ink in the background just adds a lot. I also have these tabs set from the core catalog, and I've cut from the avocado cardstock a little tab. I've sanded that to tone it down just a bit, and we're going to add that up top to carry that color around and have that in 3 places as well. That'll be perfect for stamping the date. So I'm ready to adhere this down. You'll see it has little flaps, and I'm just running a little tape runner on the flap only. You don't want that in the center because then your card won't slide in and out. And I need this to be really strong, so I'm reinforcing it with a little bit of glue. So we'll put that right into place. I'm going to pop a block on top to make sure it has some pressure while drying. And now in hindsight, I should have used this red line tape. It's a very strong double-sided adhesive tape. So we'll just make sure, I did let that dry for a bit and then came back. So that is sliding in and out perfectly, and I think that's going to work out great. Now I want my little ruler to look like it's in the pocket, so I'm going to put the glue on the front side so it adheres to the back side of the pocket and doesn't interfere with my journaling card. And then same with the apple, I'm just going to tack a little glue on the bottom, tuck that underneath here so it's not going to adhere to the journaling card. And then I'll add a little bit of foam tape to some of the elements. I'm going to do the books and this little star here, and I'll peel those off on my own time so you guys don't have to watch me do that. But that'll give them a little dimension and shadowing. I know I want to add some stamping to this card along with dates and times included in this set are word phrases. So you have the days of the week, there's the numbers, months of the year, there's times, and then little phrases that spell out. I'm actually stamping out remember this day, and I'm going to put the date underneath it, but you could say remember this night or weekend or on this day, best day, and tons of different combinations, some really good universal words on this set. So you should definitely check that out. This is going to be one I use quite a bit also. I put the date up top there on my little avocado green tag. And then from my stash, I have these old school spiral paper clips that are the seam red. So I'm going to add one of those because why not? So when we're looking at the overall design, make note of how I've added just a touch of red and avocado in each of those embellishment clusters. And that really helps tie everything together and draw your eye to the center where our photo is. I'll go ahead and add my journaling off camera, but that's going to be fun to have a top loading page protector and just be able to pull that journaling block out. I have a few more layouts to share. I created this layout with my son's school photo from 7th grade, and I love the ruler on the side of the picture and the little globe up top. It's super cute, and I love the way this one turned out with the Smarty Pants collection. For this one, I created a construction theme layout from the Smarty Pants collection. Learning can be anything. It doesn't have to be school. My boys were learning how to build a shed with their dad, and I snapped some pictures, and this paper pack was perfect to document this layout. I hope you were inspired by today's project. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, Andrea will have something amazing to share. For more inspiration, here's a link to the Creative Design Team playlist. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.